What's up, fam? This your boy Cut to the Chase TV. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure to share this video. I got some news for you Negroes today. A Brooklyn neighbor shot and killed a father and son for being too loud, and the moment the news hit the internet, the moment the video began circulating, everybody's acting surprised, everybody's acting flabbergasted. They can't seem to fathom why a neighbor would take out a father and son for being too loud. I'm not one of those people. I'm not surprised at all, and I'll tell you why. I grew up in Section 8. I grew up in the projects. We all done dealt with a neighbor like him before. Too loud, the neighbor come out the room, knocking on your door, hostile, telling you to be quiet. You run up and down the stairs, the neighbor come out his apartment, hostile, telling y'all to stop running. We all had a neighbor that didn't like noise at all, and I think that's the case, so it's not surprising at all. The ending is surprising because you look at this case and you say, how do a noise complaint end in gunfire and two people losing their life? I done seen many people make videos about it. I done seen many people scolding the neighbor. I done seen many people criticize the neighbor. Why would he bring a strap out? Why did he go banging on the door? Why he just didn't ignore him? Why he just didn't call the police? And all that is true. We are going to place blame on the neighbor for bringing the strap out. But I also got to place blame on the victim. I'm just being real with you. Neighbor come knocking on your door, yelling, screaming, and you thought it was a good idea for you to come out the house with scissors in your hand. What the hell is scissors gonna do? If you gonna pull out scissors, you better be prepared to use it. And he clearly wasn't. And not only did he lose his life, he caused his son to lose his life as well. I'm gonna play you this news clip and they're gonna give you more details on this story. Bear with me. Take a look at this.
We're following a developing story in Brooklyn where a father and son were shot dead by their downstairs neighbor. This all happening at an apartment building in East Flatbush late last night near New York Avenue in Farragut. Police say the gunman kicked on their door complaining about noise. When the father answered, they argued.
You hear that? The suspect kicked on their door, banged on their door, and they began arguing about noise. Now, I definitely think the suspect was in the wrong, and I definitely think the victim didn't handle it correctly. If somebody banging on your door, if somebody hostile, you gotta think in the back of your head, it's a possibility that this man might be strapped. He might have a weapon, because you already know people act different when they got that strap in their hand. Even if you don't see the strap, just pay attention to the body language. Pay attention to the way that the neighbor was acting. It almost looked like he was trying to provoke the man to give him a reason to use the strap. See, I always tell people this. Don't give somebody a reason to kill you. I'm just being real with you. In this life, you can never give somebody a reason to kill you. It ain't worth it. If you go through adversity, don't sit there and argue. Don't take matters to your own hand. He's banging on your door. Call police. That's what you should have did. You shouldn't even never came out. You should just talk to him through the door. Hey, bro, I'm calling the police. You disturbing my peace. You got my family scared. I'm not going to storm out the house with scissors in my hand thinking that's going to really do something. Let's just be honest with that. But let's continue.
You tell us the father attacked the neighbor with a pair of scissors, and that's when he pulled out a gun and shot both the father and his adult son. The NYPD has not tracked down the gunman.
Now, the news kind of misspoke on this situation. They said the victim attacked the suspect with a pair of scissors. Now, I do agree the victim did come out the house with some scissors, and he did kind of hold it, pointed at the man, but he didn't attack him because before the man even pulled out the strap, he waited till the victim turned his back. So it's no self-defense. I know some people are going to try to claim self-defense. They like using that, but I don't think this was self-defense at all. Look at the pic. The man clearly got his back turned. The moment the suspect pulled out the strap, the neighbor retreated. He tried to go back in the house, but the suspect didn't let that happen. It began firing rapidly, and his son got hit in the crossfire. And we're going to play this video. We're going to analyze it. We're going to break the whole situation down, and we're going to see what could have been done differently to save lives. Let's take a look at the video of the incident. Let's go. So I guess this after the neighbor done banged on the door. He got the victim family coming outside to speak to him, and it seemed like it's a hostile conversation. The neighbor is not happy that they are too noisy. And I'm gonna be honest, I know a lot of people ain't gonna want to say it, but bruh, just looking at these apartments, it look like you living in Section 8. They look low income. You don't get a peace of mind living in that situation. If you want quietness, if you want a peace of mind, you don't want to hear no neighbors, get your ass a house. See, what tripped me out about this situation is, you got people living in apartments, you got people living in low income situations, and they want to act like they living in the lap of luxury. They don't want to give up nothing to live in those places. You already know if you living in Section 8, you living in a low income apartment, you're going to have to deal with noise. You're going to have to deal with unruly neighbors. Because my situation is, if you don't like it, get your stuff together and move out. But as long as you're living in these low income apartments, as long as you're living in Section 8, you're going to potentially have to deal with loud neighbors. That's the trade-off. That's how I feel. So if you're one of those people living in the projects, don't like noise, want to tell the neighbors to be quiet every 5 minutes, sometimes you got to look in the mirror. Sometimes you got to look at yourself and say, hey man, this ain't the lifestyle I want to live. I like peace and quiet. I want to water my grass. I want to listen to the birds chirp. I don't want to hear no loud ass kids in my background. Sometimes you got to say, I got to get my stuff together and move out. Instead of trying to quiet everybody down, instead of getting on everybody goddamn nerves every 5 minutes telling them to be quiet, sometimes you got to look at your life and say, hey man, this ain't for me. Let me move around. It's me. This lifestyle ain't for me. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's a lot of people living in Section 8. It's a lot of people living in the projects just happy to have a roof over their head. The noise don't bother them. Kids hollering don't bother them. They say, hey man, I'm just happy to have a roof over my head. I would gladly take that trade-off. And then you got some people saying, I'm living in these low-income apartments. I'm living on Section 8, but I also want to have peace of mind. I also want to try to dictate the noise meter. It don't work like that, bro. I'm looking at these apartments. The doors ain't painted. It look like trash you living at. So you should be the last one trying to monitor noise level. I'm just being honest. But let's continue. So look, he's talking his stuff. The son came out. The son not really saying much. Now the father comes storming out the apartment. And he got scissors in his hand. Now he's face to face with the suspect. Got the scissors right up to his neck. And I'm going to say this about the situation. That's the wrong approach to take. No emotional intelligence. You acted off emotions. If your neighbor being loud, your neighbor complaining about you being loud, and you thought it was a good idea to come storming out the house with scissors, you just escalated the situation. You didn't use good conflict resolution skills. You should just be like, hey, bro, this is my family. I'm going to call the police. I don't like you kicking on my door. I don't like that you being loud. I'm going to let the police handle it. But he tried to take matters in his own hands and brought some scissors out, which was the wrong move. But let's continue watching. They arguing. I think his wife or his daughter trying to pull him away. So she pulled him away. She like, hey dude, you tripping, bro. You got scissors in your hand. You yelling and screaming. This ain't really going nowhere. So she tried to be the mediator. She trying to tell him, hey bro, come on man. It just ain't worth it. So she got his attention now. He took his eyes off the suspect, and now he's talking to the woman. And watch what happens next. Keep watching. The man pulled out the strap, hit up him, and then finished his son off. The women ran into the house, locked the door, and closed it. And that's just a sad ending to a whole situation. Because I think the son was innocent in this whole situation. He didn't deserve it. I'm sorry that it happened to him, because it seemed like he was just trying to get the hell out the way. He heard gunfire. He tried to run to the nearest exit, but unfortunately, he ran right into the gunman's hands, and the gunman finished him off. And I'm going to tell you why this is not self-defense. Yes, the man has some scissors. Yes, the man was being hostile with scissors in his hand. But you waited till the man turned his back to pull out your weapon and fire it at him. And not only that, you also stood over him and finished him off. Then you stood over his son and finished him off. So, man, I think this was premeditated. I think you wanted to provoke them. I think you put that strap in your pocket and you say, I'm going to go up here and confront them. If they give me any lip, if they give me any talk back, I'm going to end their life today. I think he had that type of mindset. Because you look at his body language, it almost seemed like he was just trying to provoke him. It also seemed like he was banging on their door. He was hoping the man hit him. It's like he was trying to get struck so he can give a weapon, so he can have a reason to pull out the weapon. That's what it looks like to me. And unfortunately, the guy with the scissors, the victim, fell right into the trap. Didn't use emotional intelligence. I know we live in a world, everybody got a chip on their shoulder. I ain't going out like no sucker. You ain't finna talk to me like that. You got me effed up. I know everybody got that mindset when it comes to a situation like this. But let this be a lesson learned. Sometimes it's better just to take the L. Sometimes it's better just to walk away. Sometimes it's better just to let someone think they got the up on you. Hey, yeah, you got it, bro. Talk your stuff, bro. You got it. You right. And just close the door and go lay down. Instead of just running out with scissors in your hand trying to confront somebody. So I think both of these guys is in the wrong. I think the suspect is not going to get off on self-defense. I think he's going to get first-degree murder, 2 counts. And I pray for the victim.